Do you hate artificial intelligence? Is it ruining your life? Is it something that you just see people complaining about on the internet? Well, now Twitter can complain about it too, because it looks like the Disney website was doing a test of their new AI software. Disney's AI-powered search feature appears briefly on Walt Disney World website. This from WDW Magic. And there's already an editor's note on it. An AI-powered search feature appeared briefly on the Walt Disney World website this morning, giving guests an unplanned first look at how the resort may handle trip planning questions in the future. The feature, labeled AI Overview, I guarantee you that's not the name of this, appeared at the top of search results on DisneyWorld.com before being removed. It carried a cast preview tag indicating it was not intended for public view. Are they saying it's not safe for magic? I don't know. So first of all, let's point out that anything that doesn't have a fancy name on it is probably not the final product that Disney is going to offer. AI Overview does not have enough pixie dust on it, even though it's got this little twinkly thing right here. It's going to be named like, it might be pixie dust itself. It may be Tinkerbell. It'll be like Genie with that system within the My Disney Experience app. There's no way they call this thing AI Overview. But that being said, it looks like the first result was, I'm still learning and don't have information on that topic right now, but I can help with most food and beverage questions. Looks like this leaked way early. What are your thoughts? Who wants to venture the first opinion here on what it's going to be like for guests to use an AI feature to learn about their Walt Disney World vacation?
It's I mean, this AI search is everywhere, so it's as far as I can tell, it's just something that they kind of don't have a choice. They look, if you go to Google search, if you go to, I mean, you got Gemini, you got Grok, you got all the search, they have to implement AI. Unfortunately, they don't have a great record with interactive tech. So look, going back to what they initially intended, I think, for Galaxy's Edge, because when Galaxy's Edge first opened, I was a cast member and I went there on a night that was it was a cast member preview night, 2019. They had special magic bands that they were giving us to use only for that night to see how the interactive part of the land would work. And even that night, as cast members, we were like, "This sucks." Like all the cast members.
Yeah, I've seen some of the previews. I've seen
Yeah.
some of the interactions there, and Jenny Nicholson has the famous 4.5 hour video in which she, somewhere in that, goes to Galaxy's Edge as a Galactic Star Cruiser guest and talks about the scanning of QR codes and things like that. It was not a very Disney experience.
Horrible. Right.
No.
So my point is simply that when it comes to tech and implementing tech in My Disney Experience and everything, they are just so behind the eight ball that I mean, I don't know if they'll ever get it right. We'll see.
Yeah, the interesting thing that I've seen in trying to interact with AI directly, if you talk to, let's say, ChatGPT or Gemini, and I don't know, those aren't my AIs of choice. But whenever let's say you put a story idea, like you say, hey, I'm going to write a story and it's going to be about an adorable hamster that decides to build a robot factory. You know what the first thing it's going to say to you is, that's a great and original idea that everyone will love. AI has a, I don't want to say a mirroring problem, but it has an overly indexed positivity into it. It's something where there's almost a bizarre level of positivity that comes out of AI because it wants to keep you interacting with it. It wants the entire the entire experience to be positive. Now, if you go to Disney customer service of, say, let's say 20 years ago, over the
Mm,
phone, they're impeccable. They were
totally.
the
Yep.
best at customer service in a way that I know people who applied to work for the Disney company, that even the rejection letters they got for applying to work with the Disney company, they almost felt apologetic for bothering them by applying by the time they got done with the process, because the rejection letter was so immaculately and professionally and politely written that it was unbelievable. That white glove service extends to even the most tragic of things that you might get from the Disney company. So I wonder if an AI could be trained at a level that is up to what should be Disney standards. Because I look at this, and this this could be a tool to get people more insight in how the park works, the parks, I should say, or it could be something that is to reduce cost and reduce the workload on that white glove service. Erica, have you had past experiences with Disney customer service that you could compare to, say, trying to work with some of the modern artificially intelligent customer services?
I mean, I've had the old school interactions in the past. I have not experienced this yet with the whole AI. Last time we went to Disney was 2024. Um,
But
yes,
what was the old Disney customer service like?
oh, it was just for one, a smile. They look you in the eyes. They nod their heads. They listen and pay attention to what you're saying. They repeat back what you're saying to ensure they understand what it is, if it's a complaint or even a praise. And they go above and beyond. If they can't find the answer, they will find someone who will find you the answer. In some cases, I've had cast members look around and say, you know what? Let me just take you there myself and actually guide us to the right area of the park where we needed to be for whatever wherever we needed to be for what, if we were lost. Um, but I have also experienced the opposite where it's as though they can't be bothered,
Yeah. No,
and
that
they're okay with telling you, no, I'm sorry, I don't have the answer, and that above and beyond service isn't there like it used to be.
that brings up an interesting question for me. MJ, have you ever had a call center employee that doesn't care say, "I understand," or have you ever had a robot like an AI tell you, "I understand this is frustrating"? What would your reaction be to a response like that
I
versus a human saying it?
Yeah, I try to like bypass the AI stuff when I call customer service, and I demand a representative. I don't give it a chance to try to assist me at all, because if I'm usually I have an app for everything, or I have a login to a portal where I can just get stuff done, right? So I can resolve my issue or whatever I need to get accomplished. But if I have to call, I'm going to demand to speak to a live human being. I don't really prefer to talk to an automated system, because they're not, it doesn't work well. They either don't understand what you're saying, or you have to continuously repeat yourself, or the option that you need is not available in the little list of stuff that they give you. Press 1 for this, press 2 for that. And I'm like, well, I don't need any of that. Get me a live human being, please.
Yeah. This is interesting. I this about 6 months ago, I got in the mood to go through the drive-through, and I went to a Checkers or Rally's, depending on where you are in the United States. It's the same restaurant, and not one you should probably go to if you're hoping to eat healthy. But I go in, and I go up to the drive-through, and I'm just going to say I don't have high expectations for the customer service at this point, and then I get an AI that
Hmm.
is taking my order at the drive-through, and I thought, I could either view this as a negative, or you could kind of take advantage of the situation. You could ask for every, like, okay, well, what's on this? You could ask, okay, if I combine this and that and this, and then what is that going to cost? And they'll give you the actual answer without having to be like,
Yes.
and they'll have to like find it and they'll have to do all this other stuff. So, there could be some tools, depending on how they implement this, that you could find the absolute best deal, or you could say to it, I wonder if you could say to it, when is the absolute cheapest day to stay at XYZ resort? Or if I changed partway through my trip, if it would be better in order to maximize my time. There are things that can be done with AI that you can't do with a customer service agent without, I'm going to say, taking your order into your own hands. Now that's different for fast food than it is for the Disney company.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one thing is you can just list your entire. Of course, I've got the avatar everyone is calling fat as I say this. You can just say your entire order without waiting to hear whether or not they're getting your order if you're ordering from an AI drive-through attendant. And you don't have to worry about the human element. With this, I wonder what you could do to take advantage of it. Of course, the thing that comes to mind to me is that Meta and Instagram have had an issue, or maybe it was a different company, so I'm going to throw in allegedly on this, that people were contacting an AI-driven customer service team in order to change passwords and verification emails on social media. I hope that Disney has all of this locked down before they get to that phase. And I wonder how much power this thing will actually have. Or will it be something that's so locked down that it can't actually help you? It's just strictly informational. Ron, what are your thoughts on, as being a former cast member and being replaced by AI, what are the worries that you would have in handing something like this over to a system?
Well, it's an interesting question. It really, it depends a lot on how the AI is trained. I don't know what cast member training has been over the last several years. What I do know from the inside, from cast members that I know that still work for the company, I had a phone call about a year ago. I was talking to a cast member, and when I left, I had still been trained, and maybe it was my particular management. Like I always went above and beyond to assist guests. If a guest was eating at my restaurant and they had a problem in the park with somebody, I would do everything I could to take responsibility for a problem that I did not create and make it right for them. And I mean, like we did specialty free dessert boards for our guests or whatever, just any type of thing we could do to make it right. And it's the type of thing that certainly an AI is not going to be able to do. But the thing is, I had heard from another cast member, this was after I left, that I talked to my manager about doing something like that the other day and say, the guest experience is not our number one priority.
Oh, that's so scary.
Did they say what their number one priority was?
Holy cow.
Basically money. That's what they basically said. And I was dumbfounded because it was somebody's manager at Disney that told this to this cast member. Obviously I can't reveal sources for their own sake and stuff like that. But I was flabbergasted. I was like, you're kidding me, right? Like, no, this is a new training that we're receiving. When I went through traditions class, we were told that we could either get a write-up or possibly even being fired if a manager heard us tell a guest, I don't know. We weren't even allowed to say those words back when I was trained. We would say, let me find that out for you. And we weren't like, and we would go find somebody else. We would leave the guest. There was a certain thing where we were literally told if a guest asked us directions to something like a restroom, and they were going that way, we should take a minimum of 3 steps with them in the direction of that, to start walking with them. Like this is the way I was trained.
It's the little things
above and
it's
beyond.
the Disney, it's the little things and the Disney difference. And that's what laid the landscape for all these other companies to to do the same thing so that they could give their guests that kind of experience. But look, as much as AI is out there, like Gemini and Chat and Grok, I prefer Grok if you ask me, but I don't like doing it, but life will find a way. That is why there's so many forums, blogs, and people gathering online in social media groups and all of these other things, because they rather rely on each other, because there's always going to be an inside source that's going to give the information, and then you guys can talk amongst yourselves about it. But life will find a way. People will continue to fellowship, to discuss what's going on in the parks and how to maneuver and get around things such as transportation hiccups and whatnots, right? What is the best way to make a reservation? How do I get into this restaurant? All of these other things. Humans are going to continue to be the elite. Life will continue to find a way.
I totally agree. But you know what the answer is? You still can't say, I don't know, as a cast member, but I know what you can say. I'm still learning and don't have information on that topic right now, but I can help with most food and beverage questions.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.